Hey, Jeff Mays here in Richmond, Virginia, and today we're talking about the huge potential around expired and released listings. It's December, and this is a big time for those because some sellers have tried with a couple agents, maybe tried a couple times, didn't sell, maybe they're a little overpriced, maybe they didn't list with a great agent like you. So let's go through, for those agents that want to make a ton of money, the steps that can lead you to more listings and more income in 2017 if we do some things consistently. I guarantee you this will work. It's been proven, I've seen it happen, and it can be done again, and you can do it as well. So the first thing I wrote down, let's pick an area. Let's figure out exactly the target and really drill down, maybe in a school system, a zip code, maybe in your neighborhood, maybe around where you sell, but let's not cast a wide net when it comes to expired and releases. Let's really know and start to follow and track an area that we want to be in. The next thing we need to do, let's go into our MLS and let's find out actually how many did expire and release in the past year. So do a search in that area to determine and figure out how many are coming up. What kind of numbers are we looking at on a monthly basis that are kind of churning and burning when it comes to expired and releases. Next thing we need to do, let's figure a budget. Let's figure about $1 per expired listing, because what we're going to do is we're going to create a flyer and a mailer, and then we're going to also have a door hanger that we're going to put out there. So we're going to budget about $1 for this. So it's not a ton of money around this as well. Next thing we need to do, create that flyer and the door hanger and have those ready to go. The key on expireds and releases is timing. We need to get stuff out there quickly, so we need to have these ready to go. I don't personally think this is necessarily a monthly mailer or something that we can have like a company handle, because we may some days be mailing 3 or 4 out, some days 1 or 2, some days 20. So we're gonna have to do something around this pretty much every day or weekly at the very least. Next thing is, well, let me go through a couple numbers. First off, I'll give you an example. Is I picked an area this morning here in Richmond, and I determined that there were 980 expireds in the past year. 980, so almost like 1,000 a year expired. That's about 80 a month. And here's the key. These are the numbers that will help you out and not get you frustrated, because many agents have tried this and they're not getting any traction because it's about the numbers and being consistent. 50%, half of that 80, 40 are not going to list. They're not going to list with you. They're going to relist with the agent that they already dealt with. So that is okay as long as we recognize that number. But then 25% or 20 are probably going to just take it off. They're done. They're frustrated. No matter what we say or do, they're not going to put it back on the market. And that's okay, because we're going to follow up with them in our system over the next year. But the key is 25% will list. They will list with you as long as we can get in front of them and you impress them and you know what to say and what to do. So we've got a potential audience of about 25%, and that's the key in this whole thing, because agents try this and they get frustrated because they're like, I never got anywhere or never talked to anybody, and they give up too quickly. They give up after a week or two, or maybe just a day or two of trying this. This is a 12-month plan of attack, of action, and I'm going to show you. You know, I figured if there was 20 per month in this market at 20%, if I'm just decent and get 20% of those as a listing, 20 turn into 4 listings at an average commission of $8,000, that's $32,000 of potential income a month that I could add to my bottom line, or about $360,000 a year. Then we start to look at these numbers and realize, whoa, if I do this and have a plan, I can make a ton of money and make a big difference in my business. So what are we going to do? Here's the plan. We're going to call them, we're going to mail them, and we're going to door knock, and we're going to do all this within a 2 or 3 day period. That is the key. We can't wait, like I said, a month. We can't wait a couple weeks. We've got to have that kind of plan of attack. So here's what I want you to recognize is I broke this down on these 80, basically 20 a week. If I had to call 20 a week, that's about maybe 6 hours. That's a pretty high estimate. And then if I mailed out 20 a week, that's about 2 hours worth of work. And then if I went out, and here's the key, and the hard thing to do is if I go out and knock on the doors, and if they're not there, I'm going to drop off this door hanger. but that is the key. I'm only talking about maybe 10 to 14 to 20 hours worth of work at the most, but look at what it could lead to. So there's huge opportunity when we know the numbers and recognize kind of the game when it comes to expired and releases. Now the next thing, a lot of people say, well, what do I say when I come to calling or talking to them on the phone? Well, you know what? You need to go to a sales edge. You need to find out the expired and release scripts that we have at Tom Ferry. That is the key. It'll show you exactly what to say and what to do. Next question a lot of agents have is, well, what about the do not call around that? You've got to follow your office policy, and if it concerns you, don't call them. But there are a lot of systems out there that can give you names, numbers, maybe even email addresses, and maybe if we can't get their number, we could send them something by email. So hope this has helped out. There's huge opportunity around expireds and releases. We need to figure where we're going to do it. We need to figure how many they are. We need to create a budget. We need to create a flyer, what we're going to send or drop off as a door hanger, and we need to do it on a daily and weekly basis. And if we follow these simple steps of calling, mailing, door knocking in the first 2 or 3 days, you'll have a ton of opportunities, a ton of listing appointments and listings, and then sales. And that is the key right now. You can do it. Follow this plan. It's worked before. Make it happen. Have a great day.